4, approval of requirements for State Department of Education approval of a grant application for Norwalk Early Childhood Center.
Since the Vice Chair is.
You want to bring us up to speed on this, Artie?
Sure. Alan, can you come to the podium? Rich?
Sure. This has to do with the Norwalk Early Childhood Center. Initially, we were hoping to have the Norwalk Early Childhood Center open this September, which was an aggressive timeline. When that didn't seem likely with approval from the state, we looked to possibly do all 8 classrooms at once for the following school year. A number of items got triggered when we wanted to do 8 classrooms, including changes to the parking structure, certain mechanicals, and it started to escalate the cost. So we took a step back to see what we could do to still move forward with the project. And looking at doing 6 classrooms in the existing space, AP Construction has given us a cost proposal of about $2.5 million, of which about $1.5 million are considered hard costs. There are about $177,000 of ineligible costs, making the total eligible cost about $2.3 million. Norwalk's reimbursement from the state is about 33%. So Norwalk's share of the project would be about $1.7 million. In a prior year, the board had approved $771,000 for unexpended funds. And the city also put up a special capital appropriation of $880,000. Those two combined left us about $70,000 short of the $1.7 million that we needed. Many years back, the city had bonded a $70 million capital renovation project for schools like Brian McMahon. All those projects have officially been closed out. They've all been audited. And there is a balance of about $316,000 left in that capital account. In working with the city, we do have access to those funds, considering this is a school construction project. And while there's $316,000, the expectation is we're only going to need about $60,000 to $70,000 of that $316,000. We do have Alan and John here to talk about the project.
Yeah, I think maybe John would go through the designs.
Sure. Hi, for the record, my name is John Ireland. I'm an architect with Silver Petroselli, and we've been working on, as Rich said, the Early Child Center for probably about 6-7 months. As Rich said, we kind of went back, rethought, and re-looked at the application both to the state and here programmatically with the use of the building. We've then looked at cost, looked at the program, and looked at the best way to control the cost and not sacrifice the program. So that's what AP put back together, priced for us, and we are now at the point where we're going to reapply to the state for that reimbursable cost that Rich mentioned. The plan essentially remains the same that you previously approved. So there will be 6 complete classrooms with their own age-appropriate toilet facilities, accessed within the classrooms, shared by each adjacent classroom, or in the case of a single classroom, its own age-appropriate toilet room. In addition to that, there are 8, we call them therapy rooms. They're used as offices, therapy, school programming. From there, entryway has been rethought and put back together to create a secure vestibule and lower some cost. I think if you were familiar with the plans, there was a more elaborate entry design. So we've scaled that back to be more cost effective and not sacrifice, again, safety or program. From there, the floor plan again remains fairly unchanged. Administrative offices, 6 classrooms, new toilet facilities, new mechanical equipment, new electrical, new lighting, new finishes throughout the program. So with that, I don't know if, Alan, you want to add anything else?
Yeah, just a couple of items. In the event that the board approves this project, the next step is actually going to the Norwalk Facility Construction Commission. Their meeting is scheduled for June 3rd. And right after that is the subcommittee of Common Council, Land Use and Building Management Committee. They're going to review the project, and thereafter we send to the Common Council for their approval. All the monies are in place, and there's no special appropriation process required. So upon Common Council approval of the project, we are required to submit to the state before June 30th. And our intent is to get a meeting with the state in the summer, and we look to go through the whole review process and approval. And we probably go out to bid in sometime in October, November, and possibly start construction in January 1st of 2016. And our intent is to finish the project by August 15 of 2016. That's about it.
Any questions? Any board members? I do note the cover memo properly points out that not only would consolidating these classrooms allow for improvement of the special education services for the children involved, but it also frees up space in several of our elementary schools that are where space is really at a premium. So we get a double benefit out of this in expanding the space that be available at the elementary schools. I'm also glad that the existing gym, at least in the interim, will provide a resource for the children who are going to be attending the program. All three of my kids went to Tumblebugs and spent a lot of time in the gym. So these kids having an opportunity to do that as part of the school day, I think is terrific. So my congratulations to Artie. I know you have something to say about Artie and members. Well, you've stayed on top of this for the board, and particularly for you gentlemen for taking what looked like a disaster. I mean, we had this great program, and the next thing we know, it's been blown to smithereens. And you went back to the drawing board and came up with a way to save it. And kudos for your determination and not giving up and going back and figuring out a way to how to make it work. Artie?
No, I just want to say the same thing. A couple months ago, I think all of us know we were in jeopardy of losing the entire project. And I know Alan, Rich, I don't know if he's leaving, so I can't say anything. But, you know, they did go back and they really put their heads together and came back with a great new proposal, and I really would like to commend them. And I do ask for the board to approve this tonight.
Thank you. Ms. Mosby?
Yeah, so the classes won't be available for students or children to attend until August of 2016, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Beginning of the next year.
Yes. And do we have plans now for the kids if they're going to stay where they're at? And then we'll just have to do another year?
Yep. I mean, you know, where they are now is workable.
Right.
This will just be an improvement when we get it done. Any other questions or comments? All right, did I do a
No
motion?
motion,
No. Okay, Chair would entertain a motion moved by Mr. Simmons to approve. Is there a second? Ms. Rivas seconds. And the motion technically is approving the 5 items that are in Alan's letter, which are all elements of the approval process. All right, if there's no other comments, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the proposal, please indicate. And that is unanimous. Thank you again, gentlemen. Thank you. Great job.